To all who come to this happy place, welcome. Disneyland is your land.
Hello and welcome to the very first episode of the Beyond Disney podcast. I'm so excited you're here. Whether you're a lifelong Disney fan or just starting to explore the magic, this is the place for you. Before we dive into today's episode, I want to give you a quick idea of what you can expect from this podcast moving forward. Beyond Disney is more than just a show. It's a space to celebrate everything that makes Disney so special. From current Disney news and updates to deep dives into park history, movies, and the magic behind the scenes, we'll be exploring it all together. This first episode is a bit of a clean slate, a fresh start where I get to share my passion for Disney with you, tell you why I love it so much, and talk about the dream behind this podcast. My goal is to keep things fun, welcoming, and full of that Disney magic, no matter where you're listening from. Before we continue into today's magical episode, I want to let you know that there are a few ways that you can connect with me and the Beyond Disney community outside of this podcast. Beyond Disney started as a dream, just a simple idea between a friend and I, and it originally took place as a Discord server where fans like us could come on, talk, share, and geek out over all things Disney. You can find the link to that community along with our other social media platforms right in the caption below this episode or on our channel bio. Come join us. We'd love to have you. Like I said earlier, this podcast is something I've been dreaming about for a long time. My love for Disney started years ago, and not just with the parks or the movies, but also with the stories, the creativity, and the way it brings people together. In today's episode, I want to share with you a little more about that personal journey for myself. How Disney became such a big part of my life, and why I believe it has the power to go beyond just entertainment. So let's jump into the magic. To start off, here's a bit of information to help you get to know me. My early years consisted of the old Playhouse Disney, which is now Disney Junior, and Disney Channel. A few of my favorites were Jessie, Good Luck Charlie, Phineas and Ferb, which currently, if you didn't know, got a comeback. 40 episodes are on their way, with 10 currently on Disney+. Of course, I was raised on all the Disney classics. I mean, who wasn't? To name a few, Mary Poppins, Beauty and the Beast, Peter Pan, all movies I still cherish deeply to this day. My favorite movie, though, being Hercules. Who doesn't like a little, bless my soul, Herc was on a roll, or I can find my way, I can go the distance. Such great Disney songs. And contrary to popular opinion, I think the Hercules soundtrack is the best of them all. Okay, I'm lying to myself right now, but let's move on. All of these movies and shows really started my love for Disney. But what really kept that fire blazing was going to the parks. I mean, who doesn't love Disneyland or Disney World, or maybe you like one more than the other? Personally, I love Disneyland a little bit more. My first conscious memory of going to Disney World was in 2006. I was around 3, and the only thing I remember is getting this Mickey Mouse plush that I still have to this day. What is cool about this plushie, though, is on its hat it says MGM Studios. As most of you know, that is the original name of the current day Disney's Hollywood Studios. The way that Disney has marketed from the Mickey Mouse plush goes all the way back to the 1930s, when Walt Disney agreed to let businesses sell Mickey Mouse as merchandise. But what's funnier is Disney was more worried about finances, that he agreed only for the money, not knowing that this would actually help him in the long run. If you would like an episode talking more about the history of Mickey Mouse plushies, or anything referring to merchandise and what exactly Walt did and why to build this Disney empire that he has, please comment down below and maybe we'll do an episode on that in the future. But in my opinion, I think MGM Studios, or what became Hollywood Studios, had a better concept for the park than what current day Hollywood Studios is bringing in. This is why. Now, don't get me wrong, I am very excited for the updates. I mean, I love Monsters, Inc., can't wait for the land there. I'm also excited for the animation courtyard that's coming. All of these spaces are sure to bring in more crowds and keep people coming back for more of the magic. But I do say it was better before as MGM Studios, because they captured audiences' attentions by immersing them on this experience to make them feel that they were in the movie. For example, the Great Movie Ride took you through all of these iconic movie moments and helped you feel like you're actually in the movie. And the Backlot Studio Tour took you behind the scenes onto some actual movie sets that they were still filming on. And I think that also brought some creativity and imagination to the hearts of the people that would come and visit these areas. Now, what is nice is they still have the Indiana Jones stunt show. They still have Hollywood Tower of Terror as it is. And they haven't fully gotten rid of Rock and Roller Coaster yet. You can still go on that, but they are retheming it for the Muppets. So if you are a big diehard Muppet fan who is super sad about Muppet 3D closing, well, then there you go. You get to still see the Muppets, but in a new light. But in my opinion, I think two of the most devastating removals from the parks, especially from Hollywood Studios, were the two iconic towers that they had. One being the iconic Eiffel Tower, which you could see when you were driving into the park on your way to Hollywood Studios. Now, that was a sight that got many people excited and ready for the day at Disney's Hollywood Studios, but it has since been overhauled and removed in making way for the Toy Story Land that is currently there. And let's not forget the removal of the Sorcerer's Apprentice Mickey hat. And the reason I bring this up is because if you went for the 50th celebration of Disney World, well, you might have noticed they made the different light shows on all the iconic symbols through the parks. As Epcot has the Epcot Ball or Spaceship Earth, and Magic Kingdom has the Cinderella Castle, and Animal Kingdom has the Tree of Life. Well, Hollywood Studios, they did the Tower of Terror, which honestly, good choice, good option, because that's the most iconic tower there. But they should have kept at least one of those iconic symbols just to have as a placement of this is what our land is, and I feel the Eiffel Tower was that. I understand the removal of the Mickey hat only because it blocked the entrance to the Great Movie Ride, which is currently the Mickey and Minnie Runaway Railway. For the retheming of the Great Movie Ride to Mickey Minnie Runaway Railway, now I've been on both of them, and I prefer the Disneyland one better. Disneyland didn't replace anything. It actually added a new ride to their Toontown, which was much needed. And inside the queue has this walk-through museum of all the eras of Mickey Mouse. And on a sign it says Mickey Mouse through the ears, and you go through all of his costumes. You can see a Mickey Mouse Clubhouse Toodles station. You can see his disco times. All of these are really going to get you in your nostalgia cap because it's stuff that you grew up watching. Whereas the Hollywood Studios one doesn't have that. It has some posters, but it's not going to bring you that chills or the nostalgia factor because it's more just you're walking into the hall of the theater and that's what you're going to see. Now, when it was a Great Movie Ride, you could see sets and movie props from those movies that you're going to go through, and some from others that you weren't. But, for example, they had the Dejaric hollow chess table from the Millennium Falcon in Star Wars. They had Mary Poppins' costume from the movie. All of these set props that you could walk through in the queue. But because of the reimagination, they haven't brought that into the new Mickey and Minnie Runaway Railway. I think Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway does do a good job fitting into what they're currently doing with the theming of Hollywood Studios, but I think that at least they should have included that feature that they have at Disneyland. Now, of course, I'm going to have opinions, you're going to have opinions, but I think that's what makes Disney fans and being a Disney fan so unique and so important because we get to bring our own imagination into light and maybe see if there's going to be any changes in the future. Now, that's not to say that I think Disney's falling off the rails. No, I think that Disney is doing a good job at keeping the imagination going as they're shuffling through and bringing in new ideas, new journeys for new guests. But something that's so important is the nostalgia factor. The nostalgia, arguably, is one of those factors that is needed, especially for a company or an industry like the Disney company, only because they have fans ranging from, every year since their creation, from old to new. And it's only going to continue to rise, and fans are going to be wanting to see their favorite stuff at the parks when they visit again. Now, that's not going to be the same for newer guests, which is why we have to keep moving forward, which is why Walt Disney made it clear that things will never be finished at Disneyland. But what we can do is continue to restore some hope in bringing our favorite things into the newer generations, helping them see and enjoy the same stuff that we did. The nostalgia factor is a big part of why I love Disneyland, only because it has a lot of history. There's a lot of recognizable traits and landmarks that are still seen in the parks today, which in my opinion is pretty cool, especially when you're a big hidden Mickey seeker, or you like the Easter eggs where they put little hidden Easter eggs or clues or remnants of past rides in rides that are taking over that area, only as a little tribute or something fun for the guests to look for as they recently went on that ride years back in their own childhoods. Now, Disneyland is one of my favorites, and honestly might be my favorite park that Disney has currently. Now, I have yet to go to Disney Paris or any of the international parks. I've been to Disney World many times, I've been on a Disney cruise, but Disneyland is the one that I keep going back to, maybe because it's a little closer to me, but also because of the nostalgia. I love the history. I love the way that they built the parks. Plus, if you like Disney World, you're going to see a lot of similarities at the Disneyland parks with some new stuff that isn't seen at Disney World. Now, in recent years, they have announced that there are going to be different lands that might be similar to the Disney World parks that are going to be at Disneyland. But what's nice is Disneyland has some exclusives that you cannot find at Disney World. Plus, all the shows are unique, all the lands and the areas are unique. So you might be going in thinking, oh, it's going to be the same ride. But the layout is going to be a little different if you're more familiar with the Disney World theme park. What is also super convenient is if you're a park hopper, right across from Disneyland is Disney's California Adventure. And I think that's such a unique way for the park to be laid out. And what's even nicer is the shopping center is just a walk away, as it's connected to the parks, which also then connects the Disney resorts, which is really cool if you like to go explore, if you like to go into the parks and then maybe go and explore downtown Disney a bit and then walk through some of the resorts, which overall makes it a fun experience. Now, to continue on, the nostalgia factor is a big marketing tool that Disney can profit off of because of all the Disney adults that keep coming back year after year. Now, personally, I think depending on the theming and the attractions that they add and replace the old with, all depends on if it's something the fans will truly enjoy. Now, let's say it's one of those park classics and they are replacing it with a movie that not many people actually liked or enjoyed. That is actually going to pull guests away from coming and visiting the parks. And what I've noticed is when you start to replace the old with new, a lot of the current guests and the ones that continue to keep coming back will start cycling out. And this isn't necessarily a bad thing, as there might be some newcomers who might enjoy it, which is good, and they will continue to profit off of it. But a lot of the guests who really enjoy those cult classics are going to begin to miss their rides. And that's not to say they won't want to continue to go to the parks. It's not going to say that Disney's going to lose money. But the nostalgia factor is going to die down because they are replacing something nostalgic with something that is new. And it's going to take time to restore that feeling of nostalgia that we all get when we enter into the parks. And I say that the nostalgia factor is huge only because it is part of the magic that makes Disney so enjoyable and so entertaining, to say the least. Now, all of what I have just shared is only my speculation as a Disney enjoyer who really is pulled by the nostalgia factor, and which to Disney adults does refer For example, to the smell of the rides, the voice of the announcers, the music. All of these are big contributors to pulling these guests back to the parks and keeping them returning year after year to see what they love and enjoy the Disney theme parks. Now, if there is anything that was talked about throughout this episode that you would like to listen to more of, then please leave suggestions in the comments. You can also connect with me over the listed social media platforms listed in the bio. There's still so much more information to dive into while exploring the facts, the history, and the magic of Disney. Remember to comment what you would like to hear me talk about in a future episode, or if you enjoyed anything that you heard today that you would like to hear more of, please let me know in the comments. Remember to like, subscribe, and comment down below. Until next time, let's keep moving forward into the great and beautiful tomorrow.
With the hope that it will be a source of joy and inspiration to all the world. Thank you.